And when you do it on stage, you know, a 3-minute sketch takes 3 minutes. But when you shoot it for a TV show, you have to do it over and over and over again. I wasn't really thinking about that when I came up with a character who moves constantly. By the 4th season, I was like, how about a scene where he sits down? Would that be fun? No. Yeah, that was a character I had created before coming to Mad TV. And it's weird because it was really initially just an idea about a scene, about a guy who's hitting on a woman who's way out of his league, but he's too dumb to realize it. And because he doesn't realize it's impossible, he succeeds. Because I always just loved that idea that, like, you know, that ignorance is bliss, and that if you weren't I wasn't so self-conscious and aware of what other people thought, I would be invulnerable. It's like, hey, you can't go in there. Oh, totally. Yeah, we'll just go inside. It's like, no, you can't go. You know? Yeah, no, just go to the back. What? No, you. And, you know, 9 out of 10 times you get what you want. It's because you don't know you can't have it. And I had a friend who was like that, who was like, had, you know, an invulnerable armor of dumbness. And he was always happy, you know, and even, you know, there were people who were like, oh, I hate that guy. No. So I was modeled on him a little bit, and then, yeah, I don't know where the hopping around came from. Just like, so I guess it was just fun. Yes?
Speaking of Samurai Jack, what's your feelings on it ever reaching?
I sincerely hope it does. I would love to finish the story. She asked what I feel about Samurai Jack returning. I know that Genndy Tartakovsky really, really wants to. It's just very, very difficult to get a 2D animated feature, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to finish it as a movie, in the style of the TV show, not like a 3D CGI bobble version. Although I do remember the first season, after it first hit, it was like, oh my god, that's so amazing. Somebody got hired, Brett Ratner was hired to make a live-action version of Samurai Jack, which thankfully just sort of went away. But I just remember at the time thinking, that's dumb. It's a cartoon that has taken elements from Hong Kong actions, but then added this layer of artistry that you can only get from the fact that it's animated. If you take that away, you're just going to have a cheesy, like, fake Hong Kong action movie. What's the point? It's like, no, but there'll be live action to act like they're cartoons. I didn't get it. And apparently somebody else said, no, this is an intense waste of money. So, go make Rush Hour. Yes.
Not really a question. I just wanted to hear.
I just wanted
to hear a great yell of Aku.
Dance, monkey, dance. In my intimate speed, I want to see you move. With 3 of those, this is one. Aku!
Are doing on the Ninja Turtles cartoon show, and I'm wondering if you have anything coming up, video game wise or cartoon show wise, that you're really looking forward
to. Upcoming. Wait, what day is today? Okay, Revengeance is already out. Okay, that I haven't gotten it yet. I'm very excited to play the new Metal Gear. Quentin is around here somewhere.
Yeah.
We had a good time. It was because we rarely in video games do we get to work with other people. But the people who do Metal Gear, I mean, Metal Gear is so written, you know, unlike a lot of games which are mostly programmed with a little bit of dialogue sprinkled on top. And they wanted, you know, to get the feel of us talking to each other. So Quentin and I got to record together a lot, which was great because he and I are very good friends. So I'm excited to actually see it for long. What else is? sorry, this is always a tough question because there is such an intense lag time between when we do it and when it comes out. It's usually anywhere from 9 months to a year, and sometimes with the video games it's even longer. But I know that just finished Metal Gear, or the Metal Gear just came out. The new Dead Island is in the works. Although that is not for the kids. I've never cursed so much. So it's a rapper who's killing zombies. That's probably going to be pretty profane. Anybody on this side? Yes. You and the, yes, you. It's you.
There was a point it seemed whenever I watched cartoon and there was a black character, it seemed like it was either you or Cree Summer. Now, union, or just not that many other black voice actors, or you guys just got awesome.
It's funny because I think if you break that down, there will probably be 4 characters. So when you actually look at the numbers, it's not that impressive. It's like, wow, you and Creed had both the jobs. I mean, the truth of the matter is there aren't very many black characters, and it's a weird thing for me personally because I don't believe in typecasting, especially in voiceover. But I benefit from the fact that they do. Because if there wasn't any sort of political correctness, consciousness, the fact that this is a black character, it should probably be done by a black actor. John DiMaggio would have all of my but the truth of the matter is there are, many white voice actors who can do any character, regardless of race, or, because it really is just about acting. I mean, who's to say what is a black voice? Although, I will say there have been many times, we were talking earlier about how you usually wind up doing 3 characters in a cartoon. Usually you do 1 main character and then 2 smaller characters. I don't know how many times I've had, a cop or, some other little functionary character where I've done this sort of voice just to make it different, and they've animated it black. You didn't even look. Listen to it at all. It's like, oh, who's doing that? Oh, Phil's doing it? Great. And I'm like, let's see. And it got to the point where I was doing it on purpose. Okay. And Phil, just give us one of the soldiers here who's about to get something. All right, come on here, you guys. All right. Let's see what they do with it. And yes, most times. Although on the flip side, there'll be a lot of times in Family Guy where they bring me in to revoice a black character that Seth had originally done. Because yeah, no. He's very talented, he can do a lot of things, but no. Yes.
I was wondering if you had any formal voice training or anything like that, and if you had any advice for people that want to become voice actors.
I have not had formal voice training. I mean, when I started out in shows, voice acting wasn't actually a job that you would try to get. It was a job you stumbled into. As far as how to get into it, I actually don't know. Because the nature of it has changed. The nature of voiceover has changed so much in the last 10 years that it's a completely different game than when I started. When I started, you would do a demo and then take it to an agent, and then the agents, there were 20 agents in LA who knew the 9 women who did the casting. And once, you got your name in front of them and they decided you could do the job and were competent and they liked you, then you had a voiceover career. But now there's so much more voiceover with the explosion of basic cable, Nickelodeon. It used to be there was 2 hours on each of the 3 networks that was cartoons, Saturday morning. And then maybe a couple of shows that ran in syndication during the week, but most of those were reruns of the Saturday morning shows. Then cable came, and then you had hundreds of channels, or in some cases channels that were like 24 hours of cartoons. We're going to need some more voices. So, and of course now the fact that you can do everything over the internet, and you can be here and have a thriving voiceover career in LA. I don't know how you do that. What I always recommend to people, D. Bradley Baker, who is enormously talented and incredibly bright, yes, has a website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It has some really, really good information and also really great questions for anybody thinking about getting into voiceover or acting in general to ask themselves before stepping into the blue shirt guy.
Hey, Ms. LaMarr, how is it like being in Metal Gear as being Raiden, and people not liking that character so much?
How was it being Raiden?
Yes, sir.
I was.
That's quick place around.
Should I not say anything?
I think he means Bam.
Well, I mean, I tried to bring a certain masculinity yet sensitivity. And I think really what they've done over the years, they've added a backstory that I think really makes it fun. And of course, not having a jaw, I think it's very manly. Sure, I've still got the bleached hair, but I think it's fashionable, and in Japan, they love me. I did Vamp. He was a boss. Man. Do not woo at me. I auditioned. After Dexter's Laboratory was doing a new show for Cartoon Network, and I went into audition, and it's an action show. I said, okay, and I tried it, and said, do not worry, I will take it. Yeah, it was great. It was really great. Less. And then I just did more. Every time I did something, Getty would say, yeah, even less. Okay, so he's hitting and saying, yep. He is so cool. He is so well trained that nothing is any effort and nothing messes him up at all. So eventually, it came down to this. And this was the samurai in the middle of a fight.